Hi, today we're talking about mythology and the relevance of mythology within the electric universe. I'm going to start with a quote from the Thunderbolts Project site. All the stories, characters and adventures narrated by mythology concentrate on the active powers among the stars who are the planets. And I think that's an excellent way to put it. And the Thunderbolts project has a YouTube video called Symbols of an Alien Sky, which is really worth a look. It's a long video. Obviously we do short bursts here, but it's really worth a look. But really, symbolism, mythology is about symbolism. Now, I want to talk for a minute about theosophy. Theosophy came into being at the beginning of the 1900s when the doorway was really opening to, or we were on the cusp of Aquarius, age of Aquarius after Pisces, so the age of knowing rather than the age of just believing. And the theosophist movement was the start of the merger between traditional theology and metaphysics or quantum. And the science of the cosmos, the cosmos is different than hard-nosed science and even of traditional physics. So the science of the cosmos was not described anywhere. It wasn't given credence. So theosophy sought to combine the understanding of spirituality and the universe, or man's place in the universe. And mythology is much, much older than that. And mythology certainly at one time was taught in universities as almost like a literary subject, like a series of fables or a series of fairy tales or, folklore. Because mythology has a dimension of its own, which was very vibrant and very real. And I mean, there is modern mythology, which it goes into diverse areas when you talk about mythology, because if something becomes mythical or it becomes legendary, because it's given energy, it's invested with energy. So stories, for instance, about celebrities that are printed in certain magazines can be just as mythological or just as legendary, and therefore just as powerful in the influence as stories about ancient gods or deities in very ancient times. But mythology itself has links to how we are still being influenced. And mythology is something which, to a great extent, doesn't underpin astrology in the way astrology is described in the graphic sense. So you've got the centaur, Sagittarius, and half man, half horse, and you've got Taurus the bull, which obviously harks back to the time of Dionysus, the Dionysian period. What we need to understand is the geneticists, the ancient geneticists, the creator gods, were very real. And what they created in a physical sense was very real for the time. And the influence of that manifestation or that physical counterpart is still very real. And to understand the roots of it, to understand its purpose by looking at it, by visualising it, one really needs to go back to look at ancient mythology. So as above, so below, as the saying goes. And I think that there are battles, there are wars, there are conflicts in the sky given by astrology, by astrological aspects, and particularly the extra Saturnine aspects, which describe the conflicts and the unrest and the turbulence that goes on planet Earth. Now, how much of this conflict and turbulence and unrest is created by those influences in the sky, or how much is just we just see the aspects as depicting those is another matter. But if we're going to say we take mythology seriously as an influence, then we have to take the planetary influences as we still receive them now in a much more serious way. So mythology is a different subject to astrology, but there is, to hardened scholars, there's more than a tenuous link here in an electrical universe, because astrology is a living, breathing set of code. It is something which is hardwired in to be creative within the evolution and the progress of mankind. And in a way, mythology set a long-running script which is still playing out.
Well, mythology is it's like almost like a legacy of our history.
Yeah.
I'd like just to comment on what mythology really means to people nowadays. It's almost like a science. It's been compartmentalised.
Yes.
Where ideas are not disregarded, but like the saying goes, it's a myth. So people think it's a myth, and they'll reinstate that it's a myth. But there are people like the Thunderbolts Project that are starting to unify what mythology is and surrounding sciences.
That's right. Well, that's what I was saying about theosophy at the early 1900s. Right. They paved the way for that, and now it's really opening up at a rate of knots.
Well, it's inspired people for the last 20 years.
It has. So if you talk about ufology, for instance, you could be talking about the tip of the iceberg where mythology is concerned, just because we can't see totally.
Yes, but it's getting the right.
Absolutely.
The right information
it is,
of ufology, because there's a lot of crap out there.
Crap out. There is. It's true, but ufology is the kind of thing that one time the ancients or people long ago would have described as a mythology. And when you look at things like the Old Testament, it talks about gods coming down in chariots of fire.
Macabres. This is macabre.
Yes.
Where the word car comes from.
Yes.
That we use today.
Yes.
But macabre is like a spiritual vehicle.
Yes. Yes.
Which all the ancients practiced, which has been lost. Not to everyone. There are people who practice it still today, but you won't hear about it.
Can you elaborate on this practice at all?
Well, a macabre, if for the West, is a UFO. Essentially, it's like a UFO is like a macabre with no spirit.
All right.
It's just a mechanical box that can take you somewhere.
Or is it? Well, we've covered this before. Is it a mechanical box, or is it an actual ensoulment of an entity?
Well,
is it created by? Is it the outer shell of an entity itself?
Well, this is the difference between a spiritual macabre and a mechanical one.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Joe, is that people write off a lot of ufology as a mechanical thing, object or vehicle, when actually they could be mistaken, and it could be an entity, it could be an ensoulment of some intelligence.
But this idea of ufology or the macabre being a mechanical thing is pretty much based on what the movies show you and how we've been influenced what ufology is.
That's what I'm saying, is it might be misleading.
Well, it's not misleading, it just gives you a suggestive idea.
Well, isn't that the same thing?
Well, maybe, but the idea of ufology nowadays is to keep people in ufology so they don't go beyond that point.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So
yes, that's what I mean. Whereas actually, there is consciousness and intelligence above ours, which we couldn't even begin to contemplate, and. So at one time it would be presented by, I don't know, something which was much more looking like us in a giant form, or or some animal in a giant form. It might well be now that it looks like a craft of some kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but
So mythology's changed into ufology at that level.
for this particular subject, yes. But there is also the idea that mythology is paintings on the old caves.
Yeah.
It was all disregarded as just being scribbles by Neanderthal.
Yeah.
But,
or by
prehistoric man.
Or not even prehistoric man, people since that time.
Yeah. But what they were suggesting at the end of the day was the fact that there was no intelligence behind these
That's
drawings.
right.
But what the drawings actually mean has been deciphered.
It was almost taken like a cartoon type expression.
Well, yeah, it was. But what I was going to say was that all these drawings and all the cave drawings from around the world, from Texas to England to Australia, all the drawings that they found on these walls can only be reproduced naturally in a plasma lab, which would suggest that many, many years ago that the solar system was very active with planetary interaction. And again,
yes,
this leads to
that the electric universe was in fact as vibrant or more vibrant then than it is now.
Well, this is what the golden age is. The Earth used to be encased by Saturn, which used to be a sun, which brought us to this present solar system. Now, the golden age was basically the Earth was surrounded by the sheath of the sun. So when you looked into the skies, you couldn't see beyond the veil of the energy cloud around, or what was the energy cloud of Saturn around the Earth. It's like almost like an embryo of a female. You're enclosed in this energy and you're protected. You don't need to eat. You don't need to fight for survival. Everything was given to us.
Everything was provided.
Everything was provided. And then a series of incidents happened, and then this is where the symbols of an alien sky comes into furore.
Yeah, we need historians from other disciplines to understand this as well. We need Egyptologists and people who looked at the kind of psychology of the people, the mortals, and how they were looking at life outwardly, if you like,
yes.
to have dialogue with each other. So historians from other disciplines with people more interested in our kind of thing, so that there is a merging with the electric universe technology and the ethos of that for greater understanding. And in a way, that is very much what's happening. Actually.
It is. It's binding a lot of sciences that were previously compartmentalized.
And this is what we always said. This is what the esoteric rulings have said, that there is a time when science and religion, for lack of a better word, will meet, or science and theology is a better word, because religion isn't necessarily theology. Religion is the dogma from theology, but where theology and religion meet, and it'll be one and the same thing. For that, spirituality is very much an understood set of physics rather than
spiritual science,
fables or given dogmas and taboos and it's at the moment the best word to describe it is probably metaphysics, but the electric universe.
This is where it's all heading, because
it has to be.
All these physicians and electrical engineers, chemical engineers, all these different disciplines are being unified again by the electric universe.
They are. We live in an electric universe, and we live in a vibratory frequency of various degrees and different nuclei, if you like, but we are all in an electric universe.
Yes.
And if you want to change anything, then you have to change your rate of vibration. That is, if you do it accidentally and don't realise it, it doesn't matter, you're still doing it, but to consciously know how to change that rate of vibration is within yourself, within your own frequency, is the key to progress within life in an electric universe.
Yeah, it's heightening or high, making your frequency run at a higher level.
Yeah,
which will
it
get
is.
into more spirituality thinking, as opposed to the low rate vibration, which keeps you in the
The
physical.
low rate vibration, the difference, the gulf between the low rate vibration and the higher vibration of people, not necessarily in what they think, but in how they feel and how they just radiate something, their consciousness. That is the leveler. Well, that sounds like an oxymoron, because we're talking about heightening and then we're talking about leveling. But really, the thing that is the decider within people, within their progress, within their health, within their joy factor, it is all about their vibration. And their vibration is part of that electric universe.
Yes.
So, and it was never any different. And creator, the mythology of higher deity or anything more creative than us is different from us, only because there's a very, very heightened vibration going on there.
Yeah, it's a lot faster.
So a much faster and heightened, and the more we purify, and the more we can be focused and work through our chakras, then the greater our alignment with an all-powerful universe.
Yeah, I think people need to realise at the moment that we are going through a high energy part of space, and if you want to start practicing getting your energy levels to a higher resonance, then now is the time to do it, because basically you get the feeling now that time is going by very, very quickly. Now,
It's very possible that some of the mythological figures that are only depicted in drawings and in paintings and so on, sometimes rare paintings, sometimes hidden away, but nonetheless depicted by people of long ago, some of those same mythological entities could reappear and could be very meaningful in their symbolism once again, because we've had empires and we've had empires is probably the right word, and dynasties that have been much more advanced than us and much more powerful than us, and have been lost or hidden, and when the time is right will reappear again. Hence the mythology will point to that.
Yes, and
or depict that.
Well, this is why we have to heighten our resonance. The way that we vibrate at the moment.
Yeah.
The
gateway through is that.
Well, I was saying before that everyone is realising that time is going very fast, but you need to start interpreting that we are receiving a lot of energy at the moment as a planet, as a solar system,
as a species. I think.
As a solar system, it's not for us. It's for the whole solar system, because the whole solar system has to create this energy resonance that we exist.
Well, when I talk about species, I mean anything that is residing on planet Earth.
Well, it's more than planet Earth, because it's affecting the whole solar system. The whole
well,
solar
do you
system.
think so?
Yes, because Saturn's warming up, Jupiter's warming up.
I just think planet Earth is very behind in its advancement in spirituality.
Yeah, but that's down to the psyche.
Simply.
But the whole solar system is accepting all this energy, and at the moment Venus is creating a lot of oxygen, which was unseen previously. So this is a new phenomenon that's just happened since we started going into this energy field. So everything is coming alive, and everything is resonating at a high level, and we need to take note now of what the ancients are trying to tell us to prepare for.
Probably there's no such thing as the ancients. It's just that which is much higher, or that which is much more obscure in terms of consciousness and manifestation than us.
But when I say the ancients, I mean people like Plato. And these people that give us like the Plutonic solids.
But Pluto, not Pluto. Plato will be an archetype by now. I mean, he's an archetype.
But a lot of his legacy still exists.
That exactly. So. Well, the archetypes are what we subscribe to in terms of leanings and disciplines and consciousness. So yeah.
These people need to be studied and accepted on a social level, because what they talk about goes way beyond what we talk about.
It's interesting when you say that, because of course Plato was big on social levels and social interactions. So that's
Well, he
quite
wanted to
interesting.
learn. He wanted to learn and share, and that's
I
what
did
it's all
want
about.
to share. This is yes, he did
So-
want. He wanted to disseminate knowledge and give knowledge and share knowledge and have people advancing it so that everybody could be more equal.
Mm.
Okay, thank you. That's all for now. Join us next time on the Electric Universe.